Have you ever been so overwhelmed that your body just wanted to run? That happened a lot here in my classroom this week. Now, I'm Chris. I'm a high school teacher and a self-defense instructor. I teach my students, and then I learn from my students, and I pass on those lessons to you. We were doing oral presentations this week. This is my Heroes Project assignment. I talked about it last week, and now we're in the oral presentation part of it, and my students, let's just say they had varying degrees of success. I had one student who got up there and he panicked so badly, he froze so badly, he ended up literally running back to his seat. He was rubbing his head and talking about, nah, man, I can't do it, bro, I can't do it. And of course, I talked to him, I calmed him down, and I brought him back to the front and I talked to him and kind of walked him through it. He made it, he found his voice again, but that's one type of response to that feeling of panic or that feeling of fear, that feeling of overwhelm. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, I had another student, and she got a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit fearful, but what she did is she scanned the room and she found one of her friends. She looked at me too a couple of times, but I'm telling you, when she locked in on her friend, she just made eye contact with that buddy of hers and just talked and presented directly to her. Same room, same assignment, same fear. The difference was where they chose to focus once the pressure hit. And honestly, it's the same thing when it comes to self-defense. If you don't know where to look, your brain scrambles and sometimes your body will just shut down. But if you give your mind something to lock onto, it could be the hands, it could be their body language, it could be your escape route, whatever it is, if you give the mind a job, if you give your brain a job, you can fight that freeze response. You can overcome that paralysis by analysis, that fear that makes us shut down when we start to panic or when we feel overwhelmed. That's why one student ran and one student stayed in control. The difference was where they chose to look, where they chose to focus. And when you have a plan on where to focus, you take back control. Now, if this resonates with you, if you like these kind of self-defense tips, please follow along because tomorrow I'm going to tell you the 3 things you should look for when you start to feel overwhelmed or when that fear tactic, that fear response starts to happen. So hit the subscribe button, follow, like, whatever it is, and I'll see you back tomorrow. You got to stay focused, you got to stay positive, and you've always got to stay vigilant. See you next time.